Welcome and thank you for joining us. We want you to grab your crafty kit, pour yourself a cup of tea, sit back, relax and enjoy. You're watching The Craft Show. Hello and thank you for joining us here at the Craft Show. Yet another craft show. We've got some fantastic demonstrations coming up for you as always. Now, before we get on to our first guest, I just want to remind you, of course, that the Craft Show is all about collaboration. It's about sending in your crafty pics, organising as a craft show quickie that we can show later in the show. And of course, it's not available on regular TV. We're only available online. The bonus of that, of course, means that you can rewind and rewatch the show whenever you want to. How's about that? We've thought of everything here, so that's really good. But I must say to you, if you are watching this on YouTube, please remember to press the subscribe button. That's really important, because if you subscribe, not only are you going to be notified next time a show comes out, but YouTube like it. And if YouTube like it, that's good for us, because it means we get more views, more rankings, and of course that means we can keep making the craft show for you to watch at home, in the comfort of your own home, in your craft room probably. Anyway, that's enough from me. We're going to crack on now, because it's time to introduce our first guest. It is the wonderful Alison Bunning. Alison, how are you doing?
I'm fine, thank you. How are you?
I'm very well. All the better for seeing you.
Good.
So you're back to do another crafty demo for us, but for anybody that's not seen you before, can you tell us a little bit about who you are and what you do?
I own the craft centre in Bourne.
Okay.
I've been here for nearly 2 years, 2 years in April.
Yeah.
We have lots of workshops, classes, as you can see behind me, some knitting and crochet supplies, felting supplies, and we have handcrafted goodies made by...
Available in the shop too?
Yeah, there are lots of different crafters.
Excellent. And you've forgotten, of course, the most important thing, which is you provide us with the home.
I do.
Our home.
Yeah.
For the craft show. And as a result of that, you'll see Alison's website popping up on the screen from time to time. And the beauty of the craft shows, of course, we don't sell anything, but what we do ask is we do ask you to check into Alison's website from time to time, have a look and just see what she's got available on there. And certainly for any of the demos that Alison's going to be doing, you should be able to find most of the bits that you need on there too.
Yeah.
So what are we going to be doing today?
Okay, we're going to make toadstools today, needle felted toadstools.
Toadstools. Okay, like these little
Couple of examples in here, yeah.
Okay, so what can you tell us about these? Are these quite complicated to make?
No, very straightforward.
Okay.
Basically the stem of the toadstool and then the cap on top. I put this one in a pot with some different coloured curls on top just to make it look like grass or whatever.
Excellent. And I like what you've done with this one as well here.
Yeah,
I'll just pick this one up as well. That's really nice as well, the way you've mounted those. How are they fixed to that? Have you just used some craft glue?
No, they're glue gunned.
Oh, glue gunned?
Yeah, I've glue gunned those on.
Okay.
Okay for doing things like that, but I glue the top cap onto the stem.
Okay.
I use some Yoo-hoo or something for that because the glue gun dries too quick.
Excellent.
So,
all right, well, we're going to have a look at that during the demonstration, aren't we?
Yeah.
And we should point out that as good as these look, they're not edible.
No, they're not.
Don't be eating them.
No.
We don't want to do that.
No,
okay, so
not.
To start off, what is it that we're going to need? What materials are we going to need and what tools are we going to need?
Okay, so for the top cap, I've part made one and then I've done another one here that I've covered.
Okay.
This is core wool.
Core wool, so that's what you use to sort of start off.
It is.
Okay.
It's needle felts really quickly, inexpensive, and makes a nice firm shape.
Okay.
If you'd seen the previous tutorial that we did,
yes,
which was the sheep, the inside of those is core wool.
And this
works
is the
really
same.
well.
And where can we get that? Is that easy to get hold of?
Yeah, pretty much all needle felting suppliers have this.
Okay.
Got it on the website, but yeah it's
including the craft centre, so have a look.
Yeah.
Okay, so and what tools are we going to need as well? Because obviously we need to know what tools we're going to need.
For the top cap,
yes,
we'll start off with a single needle.
Okay.
So this is a felting needle. It has little barbs down the side of the
I was going to say blade, but it's not really a blade. The sort of the
Needle?
shaft of
Yeah,
the needle. Yeah.
yeah.
Okay. What's the purpose of that?
They tangle the fibres together.
Okay.
So as you're poking, or stabbing at whatever it is you're making, they're pushing the fibres together, tangling it all together.
Brilliant.
That is a single one. This has got 2 in.
Yes.
You can fit 3 in this, but I've only got 2 in at the moment.
Okay.
It's just for speed, really.
Just for speed.
Yeah, it's 2-3 needles, just much quicker than 1.
Great. So we've got our core wool.
Yeah.
We've got our tools.
Yeah.
Let's get crafting.
Okay.
Okay.
Right. So the first stage of the cap. Get your core wool. Again, I sort of explained this on the first when we did the sheep. Better to start small and build up.
So sort of layer it up, build a bit, needle felt it, and compact it, and then.
If
put
you
another
start
layer
with
on.
a too big a piece to start with, it won't felt properly,
No,
and you'll
okay.
end up with sort of soft parts.
Okay. We don't want a saggy bottom.
We don't want a saggy bottom. Definitely not.
No. Okay.
So, you can do this a few different ways. I like to start with quite a smallish bit, really, and sort of bundle it in to the middle. Now it's going to take slightly longer to do than the sheep previously, because I can't get this really tight.
No, okay.
Because I want to sort of bundle it into a bit of a disc shape.
Yes.
So bundling it in and then bundling the edges into the middle, sort of holding it.
And that's giving it some shape.
Carefully. Yeah.
It's also giving it some substance as well.
It has.
Okay.
Hold it carefully with your finger and then just stab these edge bits in so that you start to get this shape going and hold the sort of fluffy bits down.
And what I've noticed from needle felting so far in the demonstrations that we've done previously is that you don't need to do too much stabbing for it to hold its shape together. So once you've got it in and you've given it a few goes, it starts to hold its shape, and then you can.
There we are. Just about holding. I might find some little bits of grass in. So we're going to just continue doing this, shaping it round. So working all around the sides, so that you're pulling the fibres into the middle. Essentially, you're pulling them all in to make this nice round shape. Once you've got it started, you can switch to your.
For the speed there.
Yeah.
It's quite a mindful sort of task, isn't it? I think anything that you're doing that's repetitive.
Yeah.
You know, gives you the opportunity to kind of zone out a little bit and relax, doesn't it?
Definitely.
Because you do quite a few sort of needle felting workshops here, as I'm sure many people do around the country and around the world, because you can find us. Hopefully you're watching from all over the world. Hello, if you're from anywhere other than the UK.
Yeah.
They're always pretty busy, aren't they? It's a popular.
It is really popular craft at the moment. Yeah. There's lots of tutorials out there, lots of workshops, Facebook pages, all needle felting related. Some are general needle felting. Some are sort of 2D felting, so pictures, so flat work.
I've seen a lot of that.
Which I might do some in future videos if you're interested.
I could imagine that would lend itself quite nicely to doing things like farmy landscapes and
definitely,
and that kind of thing, because it's sort of natural.
Because you can use lots of different fibres and all sorts of things and build up texture, so they're really nice to do.
Good.
So I've got the top cap starting now.
Yeah.
Still much too squashy.
Yes.
It wants to be quite firm, really.
Okay.
Particularly if you're going to put the little dots on, dots on top.
On top, yeah.
If you try and put,
because that is quite tightly felted,
it is.
Isn't it?
If I tried to put little dots onto this now, I'll show you with
it would just kind of collapse.
They will just. So I just get a little tiny piece, sort of bundle it up.
Okay.
If I try to attach that to this now, which is still really soft, I'm going to struggle anyway.
Yeah.
You'll see it will just completely disappear inside.
So it needs to be really firmed up.
Yeah, it does. For something like this that you want to put surface detail onto,
you need to do that.
Needs to be quite firm. This one's almost there, but
Yes.
this one still needs a little bit of firming up on the top, just so that it's nice and smooth and flat and nice and solid. So we're going to continue felting this so that this part's nice and firm.
Yes.
And then layer up.
And put another layer on.
Yeah. Again, like as we did with the sheep, we're going to build up. So I'm just going to fold this over round the outside of the one we've just been working on and continue stabbing away.
You're going to firm it up. Watch your fingers, this is recorded live, anything could happen.
Yeah, we don't want to be bleeding all over the place.
Do you use like thimbles?
No, I've tried, but I can't get on with them. They're okay when you're doing something a little bit bigger, sort of defeat the object a bit then because your fingers aren't so close, but it's really tricky to hold anything little with them on. They're like a leather, like the end of a glove.
Oh, so they're not like what you would consider to be sort of a traditional needle, a metal cap, or
no, they're like
porcelain, or
no, they're like a leather sock for your fingers, I guess.
Okay, yeah. But you don't look like you've suffered too many injuries.
I have.
Oh. That was the wrong thing to say, wasn't it?
Quite often.
Yeah. Well, listen, just while you're firming that up, as many of you will know that are regular viewers of the Craft Show, we often get things sent in to us, and we've been using some items featured in the opening sequence of the show, which you'll have seen with the Craft Show on. And what we like to do is just let you know who's made those so we can show them, so you can see. Because we couldn't get them all in the opening sequence. Obviously, we sent so many items, Alison, and we want to show those now. So we've got a couple of items. So I'm going to start off with this one here, which I really, really like. This was sent in by Julie Harding. So hi, Julie, if you're watching. And if you're not watching, where are you? Because she should be watching, shouldn't she?
Absolutely.
Yeah, but we like this a lot. This is kind of like a panel with a textured finish, and then she's used the sort of little MDF cogs on there. That's got a proper name, Julie, but I can't remember what it's called. I'm sure you'll send it in and tell us. And then also we were sent in these, and funnily enough, these arrived purely coincidentally on Valentine's Day. It's way past that now, and I thought somebody loved me, but they don't. So it's these are sent in by Sheree Collins. So hi, Sheree, and Sheree, I should say, makes these, and you can see in there they've got the Craft Show on as well. Some of them, and then some of them are plain. But what a nice gift for somebody as well.
Yeah, definitely.
So thank you for that, Sheree. Keep sending in your crafty items so that we can have a look. We like to receive those, don't we?
We do.
So where are we up to now?
Okay, I will continue with this for quite a while yet because it needs quite a lot of work. So I will put that to one side.
Are we going to Blue Peter it?
You will Blue Peter it.
Can we say Blue Peter?
Can we?
Too late now, isn't it?
Yes, too late. Yeah, we've done it.
Yeah.
So that will eventually end up like this.
So there's a bit of a size difference, presumably because you've been layering it up.
There is, and you know, you can make them any size you like.
And that's quite a bit firm.
I've made a little one here with this on top, which is the next part I'll show you. That one's that one's much smaller, but really quite firm.
So what are we going to do? So we've got the this is the main top to the total.
Yeah.
So how are we getting this? We've got the little spots in here. Is that something you've added?
No,
or?
that's this fibre.
Oh yes, I can see that. Yeah.
Comes as what they call a bat, which is like a sheet.
Okay. And are these natural fibres or are they man-made fibres?
These are there's wool in here. There is possibly some silk in here, and these are what they call silk neps. So they're tiny little
There's silk in there.
Yeah.
So good. So you can make some underpants out of
Yeah,
them.
you could. Yeah, you could spin this as well. So you could spin it. Yeah.
You can spin it.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, can you? Really?
Yeah, you can spin this.
We'll have to get your spinning wheel in on one of the shows.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, I'm not very good. But probably get somebody else to do that one. So that's what I've put to cover the top of this one. These ones here, or this one particularly, is one of the fibres out of that basket. So it's, I think it's probably this one. So I've just taken pieces off, I've just broken pieces off and just laid it over the top.
Okay.
And just stabbed it all down and
Okay.
it attaches it on. But I'll show you how to do, for this part, how to do something with a bit of a, this is just some fibre that I'd got at home, but it's got a little bit of a, almost a bit of a striping.
It's got like a glittery, metally sort of, like a gold sort of thread
that's like
feel to it.
Angelina-y type. The base of it is wool fibre, so it's a wool of some description. I'm not quite sure what it is, and it's got sparkly bits in. But if you want to keep this nice sort of stripy appearance,
Yes.
you would. I would split this,
Okay.
so it's slightly more manageable pieces. So probably split that into sort of 3 strips, so it's easier to handle.
And this was just something you happen to have at home?
It is,
Is
yeah.
that right? Okay.
Yeah, I've got the ones on this toadstool. The fibres are on the website.
Oh, okay.
That I've used on here. There's lots of different colours. They're like a blended, so they've got different colours in them, but there are
Because you
lots
can
of
see
different
that. 'Cause I don't know if you can see that at home, but they're not. That's not just a single colour. There's some purple in there. There's some sort of orange in there. There's some red in there, and
good toadstool colour.
it is a good toadstool.
Yeah,
sort
and
of colour.
they needle felt really easily, really beautifully, go on nice and fast. So they're a good one for toadstools.
In fact, it's funny because often in life we try to replicate nature, and you can never replicate it quite as good. But I've got to say, if only real toadstools looked as good as that. I really like that. Okay.
So I'm going to, between my thumb and forefinger and my second finger, hold the other piece of roving in my other hand and just pull off a strip so that it comes off in like a hair.
Okay.
And I'm going to lay that across it from the middle outwards.
Okay.
And then I'm going to stab those in the middle.
Yeah.
So that they are attached right in the middle. And then I'm going to take another piece, do a slightly thicker one because that was a bit thin, and do exactly the same.
Further around.
Like a clock.
I
so
can
we're going
see
around
where you're
like a
going
clock.
with this.
I'm going to lay it next to it and then stab that in the middle, so they all come together in a point in the middle, but then they fan out round the edge.
That's
and
a
you'll
good
keep
idea.
that stripy appearance as you go around the outside, like that. So I'm going to stab those in the middle there. And I'm going to continue doing that all the way round. And then when it's completely full, you'll see how once you've stabbed it down, it has a nice sort of stripy.
I like
appearance.
it. I like it. I can see where you're going with that. That looks fantastic.
I quite like that.
I love that. I love that.
So I won't do any more of that. I want to explain how to do the stem.
Okay.
Yeah. And then obviously
Before
we need
we
to put it
carry
all
on
together.
with doing that. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. No problem.
So for the stem of the toadstool, I've only got these ones today. They're little pipe cleaners. If you've got a longer pipe cleaner, I would fold it in half.
Okay.
And then twist them together.
Yes.
But I've only got 2 short ones, so I'm going to twist these 2 together. Just to make it a bit more sturdy. So nothing more complicated than just twisting them together like that.
And where would you get your hands on those? Because I was going to say, available at all good tobacconists.
Funnily enough, these are actually pipe cleaners.
Oh, they are
proper
popular.
pipe
We can get them
cleaners.
presumably from craft websites. And
Everywhere, yeah. All the big craft shops, most places. And kids' pipe cleaners are just as good. And in actual fact, the glittery ones are really good because they're quite grippy.
Oh, okay.
So they have quite, they're quite a grippy.
They hold together nicely. Good
So
stuff.
I've just twisted them together like that. And then we're going to use this again, which is what we used for the sheep last time. This is Corrodale.
This is the one you use over the top, isn't it?
It is, yeah. Might have some little bits in as well.
Yeah.
And we're going to split this in 2 like we did before. So we've got a more manageable piece.
Yeah.
Break a piece off. We can have quite a long piece for this.
Yeah.
And then we're going to start at one end of the pipe cleaner.
Yeah.
Just wrap it round roughly.
Yeah.
And then we're going to... It's up to you how you do it. I tend to twist the pipe cleaner. Some people like to wrap the fibre.
Yeah.
It's personal choice.
So we're going to basically bulk that out a little bit.
Yeah, I'm just,
Okay. Well, listen, while you're doing that, while you're filling that out, I don't know about you, but I'm feeling a bit parched.
Definitely.
I think it's time for a crafty brew.
It is.
And regulars will know that can only mean one thing.
Yep.
And that is, it's time for the Craft Show Quickie.
You've just caught me having a little bit of a crafty brew. My name's Steve and I'm going to be doing the Craft Show Quickie today. Today we're going to be making a bookshelf. Not a bookshelf as in what you'd probably think of as a bookshelf, but a shelf made from books, as you probably can see. And I'll show you, a closer up of the books that we're going to be doing. So what are you going to need? Well, you're going to need, if you can read somebody for one of these, a spirit level, good old handy spirit level, and you're going to need some brackets. Now, these are brackets you can find at Screwfix or any other good store, as my good friend would say. These are probably about £10 for a box of 20. So obviously it gives you 10 shelves. And obviously screws. Now you can either screw this directly to the wall, or as you can see from the demonstration, that you can actually screw it to a piece of wood, then screw it to the wall. So level, some kind of drill, a book. I wouldn't recommend using your Kindle, and a couple of screws. So what we can do is you get your, now it's up to you how you have this, completely up to you. I'm going to do it so when it's on the shelf, when it is actually a shelf, you'll be able to see the spine. And you want the spine to be the right way when you're looking at it. So move the crafty brew to one side, and we will use these screws into the book. Make sure it's nice and level. You can measure all this out, it's up to you. Now, if you're going to be screwing the next part into a wall, obviously you will need a rawl plug and a drill that will penetrate walls. So we'll leave it at that, and then come with me as I screw it into this board behind me, just to show you. And here we have a nice little shelf ready to put some nice ornaments on. So let's go and screw this into this board behind me. So here we have our book with the hinges on, and what we're going to do is we are going to screw using the magnetic tip in the screwdriver, and we're going to position it. That is it. Now, I've already done one. Why is that? Because now we can check to see if it's level. See, I would recommend putting it on a board like this, because again, like I said, you can screw 2 holes at the top, and this can go into the wall. But obviously, don't want to talk over the noise now, do I? Obviously, think safety. Think about where you're screwing it in the wall, because there's going to be probably pipes or electricity behind there. So again, just think safety. And there you have a nice little shelf, maybe to put something like your crafty brew on. thank you for watching. This is Steve, and you've been watching the Craft Show Quickie. But I do have to say, don't use the iPad. Don't use the iPad. Somebody might not be happy. Bye.
Welcome back. We are, of course, enjoying our crafty brew. Give us a clink. Good job. We hope you've enjoyed your Craft Show Quickie, as always. It's always good to get some guests in. If you would like to take part and get involved in the show, and you make perhaps some videos yourself, contact us, because we're looking for people to do Craft Show Quickies. Yeah, let us know. I could do with a biscuit with this, really. They've all been munching the biscuits around here. We've got, oh, look at that. We've got chocolate ones as well, look. Do you want one?
I'm a hobnob girl.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Just hobnobbing. That means you're an expensive date, doesn't it? Yeah, I'm going to go for a chocolate one. I'm surprised there's any left because we've got a guest in the studio who's been munching our way through them.
Yeah.
Not Alison.
No, not me.
There.
No.
Right, so before we left to have a look at the Craft Show Quickie, we were doing the stem. By the way, if you've just joined us, we are, of course, making one of the toadstools.
We are.
And that's right. So we're up to the stem.
Yep.
Okay.
We are.
Where are we up to?
So we were working on this, the cap of this toadstool.
Making it stripy.
We were making it stripy. Well, I've somewhat finished. There's a little bit of work to do on it, but you can see how it has the stripy effect going around. It's got a bit of sparkle in this one. You can put the little dots on like on the other toadstools, or you can leave it like that. It's up to you.
It's very
you
clever.
can use any fibre, any colour, anything you like. It's just I chose that one because I quite like the stripy effect. I was working on the stem of the toadstool for this one.
Yeah.
Before we went away, but it's going to take me quite a while to build that one up.
Because you need to build it, like we've already said before, you need to build them, get them firm, then put another layer, then make it firm.
You do, yes.
That'll take a bit of time.
And obviously we're wrapping onto a pipe cleaner, which is quite thin. So for the big toadstools, they're quite sturdy.
It is
so
quite thick,
it's going to take a little while to do it. So I'm going to work on this smaller one, which will be for this little toadstool.
Yeah.
So all we're doing is wrapping up the pipe cleaner.
And when you just started that, because you had the pipe cleaner and you folded the end over slightly, didn't you, to create sort of a bit of a grip?
Yeah, a bit of a grip, and just
and
to
poked it
shorten it a little
and
bit.
To shorten it a bit as well.
So it wasn't, because they're full length, so I've just made this one a little bit shorter for the little one.
Because it seems quite long. The stem seems quite long, is what I was thinking. But of course, it needs to be a bit longer for a reason that you're going to find out in a minute.
It does. We're going to put it in to the cap, obviously, and then into the pot as well. So you need a little bit extra. So I don't know if I explained this before, but when you're wrapping anything, you need to keep your hands that are holding the fibre fairly close to whatever it is you're wrapping. Otherwise they'll break apart, so it will just break off. If you want to wrap in a continual length, particularly with this fibre, because they're little short fibres all mixed up, they will break apart.
You don't realise that actually,
easily.
do you? Because they're kind of interwoven. It's not like a piece of wool, is it?
No, it's not. No, I mean these are all running in the same direction. So the fibres in here all run in the same direction. The fibres in this one, this has been carded, so put through a machine that brushes the fibres together. They're all in random directions, which is why it needle felt so well. But they break apart much easier because they're random. So keep your hands close. You can either twist the pipe cleaner or you can wrap this.
What do you find easier?
I prefer to hold close to the whatever it's I'm working on and twist that.
I think that's
if
what
you
I do.
can.
Yeah.
You can just keep this hand close. So then once you get to either top or bottom, obviously it hasn't got a top or bottom at the moment, you're going to just angle it at a slight right angle. And then
going sort of back against.
Yes.
So you're going that way, and then when you get to the top, you're turning it and coming back down.
And I've run out now, so I'm just going to wrap that little end bit round and get another piece.
How do you stop that sort of unwinding then?
It will naturally grip to itself to a certain extent.
This is carded?
Yeah. And then we're going to stab
it
as well. It is, yeah, these ones are carded. We're going to stab this as well once we've got a little bit more on to firm it up. So we're just going to take another piece and obviously the toadstools have a slightly bell-shaped, so the bottom's slightly thicker than top. So we're going to
jeans like that.
Yeah, he's still wearing those.
Well, times are hard.
Yeah. So obviously the base of the toadstool wants to be slightly thicker than the top, as the nature of a toadstool. So we're just going to keep wrapping, and I'm going to angle back down. And
so again, you got to the end, and then you kind of changed the angle to come back down.
So we've gone at a slight angle and then come back down to the bottom. And then this is when we'll stab a little bit, because we've got some loose bits at the top here.
Now, of course, if you were doing this at home and you had lots and lots of time, you'd really make sure this was really nice and firm all the way through, wouldn't you?
Yeah, the reason being because we're going to, in a minute, we're going to cut a hole into this part of the toadstool cap, and then this is going to go in there. So if this part is too loose, obviously when you try and put it in with some glue, it goes all baggy.
Yes.
So it wants to be nice and firm. So I will leave that like that for now, because that's explained what we've done. You don't need to see me keep wrapping this. You get the, and you can have you can make the stem quite skinny, or you can make it much bigger. It's up to you.
Yes.
It's all entirely personal choice. So assuming we've got that fairly nice and well felted and
you're using a single needle again for this. And I know you do have one with multiple. I know you've got one you've just got 2 needles in. There's also like a multi-needle. It's got a proper name, hasn't it?
Yeah. Generally called a punch tool.
A punch tool. You
can use that for smoothing down this, which will just smooth it out. You don't want to use it too much because it does flatten as well.
Oh, so it's not a good. That's not a good tool to be using on the stem, because you want the stem to be flat. Obviously.
No, you don't. So you will just use this just for smoothing it and attaching it well, but not too much, because you don't want to flatten the shape of this.
No. Okay.
The multi-tool, if you're working, because this has got a pipe cleaner in, you've got to be careful that you're not hitting the pipe cleaner wire and breaking your needles. So you're okay with 2, because you can tend to work to the side. And once it gets much bigger, it's easier to do. But the single needle for something like this is just as easy, because it doesn't take a great deal of work. Okay, so we'll cut the hole in here. I've got a tiny little pair of nail scissors, which aren't particularly sharp anymore, but they will just... So we're just going to snip right in. Obviously don't snip right through, but you want to snip fairly deep so that there's enough room for you to put the...
To keep it sturdy.
Yeah. Sometimes you might need to switch to a bigger pair of scissors, but these are actually better than I thought. It's tricky for me to show, although it's not...
They don't need to be super sharp either.
No.
In some respects, you perhaps don't want them too sharp, do you? Because you might go through the end.
Yeah, you don't want to go through the other side.
No.
Although it can be rectified if you do.
Yes.
You can just cover it with a little bit of water, so it's not the end of the world.
Cover that in one show, sort of repairs.
Yeah, yeah,
Anyway,
we can do that. Yeah,
repairs.
yeah.
Sorry.
That's okay. So I should have snipped a fairly decent. Okay, so that's good enough for the time being. So we would just... once you've got the hole a reasonable size and as fairly deep, so that obviously when you put this in, there's enough of this inside the top so that it will stay firm. I would just maybe use a bigger pair of scissors and just open this hole up a little bit so you've got a bit of a gap. Put some glue in. I use a Yoo-hoo or something like that, like a contact adhesive. Okay. Don't use a glue gun because it dries too quickly.
So it needs to be something like the tube glue there.
Yeah.
And you'd know that if you come to one of the workshops or needle felting workshops. And talking of workshops, just very quickly, we asked people to send in pictures and details of workshops, and we've been sent a lovely one here from Joanna Scott. Hi, Joanna, from the craft room. And these ladies are making sort of some Christmas tree decorations. This was from a few months ago. The picture will be going on the screen for you in just a second. But if you want to have a look, they're at the Old Grain Barn in Moss End Garden Village, RG42. Wherever that is, and they meet very regularly, so do just have a look on their website, and if you're interested in attending one of their workshops, you'll see the dates there.
Lovely.
So that's good.
Okay, so I have it the top cap on the stem. I haven't glued it on because I need to work on this a little bit more yet.
Okay.
But you get the idea. Put a little bit of glue in the top.
Yeah.
Like that.
Job done.
Okay, job done.
It looks really nice.
For that part. Yeah, they're nice, aren't they? So you can put this wherever you want. I've got some on a. This is fish tank wood. It's out of a aquarium wood.
Yeah, that's a clever idea, isn't it?
They're really nice shapes, so they lend themselves really well to this.
And it looks very natural.
Yeah.
Doesn't it? So you can get this from all good aquarium shops.
You can, and you can add bits to the base of this. One of the ladies that comes to my Tuesday night class, we're making these at the moment, and she's got little felted pebbles and all sorts. So it looks really sort of woodlandy. So,
and the good thing about these is that these will probably all be different.
Yeah,
as
absolutely.
Well, I would imagine.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I like that.
I've got the big one there in the plant pot, which is what I'm going to show you how to do now.
Yeah.
I have filled this little plant pot.
Okay.
That's a slightly bigger one.
Yeah.
But I've just taken a piece of the core wool.
Just before you show us that, can I just ask you, because I've seen these about somewhere, but I can't. If I wanted to go out and get one now, I wouldn't know where to go. Are they easy to come by? Those little.
They're not.
pots?
They're. I've had to go to my local garden centre.
Okay. Right. So the
Bradford.
local garden centre. Yeah.
I tried sort of the big garden centre-y places, and they don't do them anymore. They're only plastic. You can only get plastic ones.
Oh, you can't get the sort of little clay terracotta. Ones.
You can't. You can get the big terracotta pot still, but not the little tiny sort of seedling ones. I will have some of these on the website if you want to have a look on there.
Okay.
For doing your own, or a proper garden centre should have them. Proper garden centre.
Okay, you heard that here first. Yeah. Or have a look. Don't forget.
Yeah.
At the craft centre.
Have a look on the website.
Yeah, great.
So I won't do it completely because I need to do some finishing off bits first. But I put some of this glue, which I've used to glue the stalk onto the top cap. I squirted it in the vase, in the plant pot, and then just stuffed this core wool in. Is
that a special glue?
It's just a contact adhesive, so it's just I don't know.
Just have a quick look.
Yeah.
This is what you always use, though, this kind of thing.
All-purpose adhesive.
All-purpose adhesive. Yeah. So it doesn't need to be a specialist.
No, it's just I think Evo stick.
That kind of thing.
Like an Evo
but
stick,
it's like a thick,
yeah.
clear.
Yeah, it is.
Gelatinous.
Yeah, it's a good glue actually. Good for this sort of thing because it doesn't dry too quickly, but it doesn't take hours.
Oh, I see. So it's got the applicator nozzle.
Yeah.
So if you've got a good glue that you'd recommend perhaps for this, pop details in the description below in the comments below.
Yeah.
Spread the word because that's what it's all about.
Glue guns aren't always the best. I've glue gunned the toadstools onto the piece of wood, but they dry quite quickly, so you've got to work quickly, and it's not quite the best thing for this.
No.
So I've just imagine I've glued that in there, then I just give this a little bit of a stab around the edge just to tuck those bits in, and then I put another made a little hole in the middle just with my finger because it's not well felted, and then a bit more glue in the middle there. Then put the toadstool in the middle.
And how firm does that need to be, the filling? To keep it sort of pretty
ridiculous.
sturdy.
I mean, it's I have needle felt, but it's still quite squashy. I haven't needle felted that an awful lot.
Yeah. So you don't need to really go to town.
No, but what I have done is I've glued that in the middle, and then I've added a little bit more of the wool around the outside. So I've sort of had to hold that with one hand. It's a bit of a juggling act.
Yes.
Held it round, and then
I see.
Bundled this
so you're not
around the
reliant
outside.
on it just going into that hole to keep it up.
No.
You get it in there to get it in position, and then you're securing it round the outside with the extra.
And then what I did was with this extra, I stabbed that into the stalk of the toadstool.
Okay.
So I attached that to the fibre that I'd already put in, and then also attached that round the base of the toadstool. So it held it in
two ways.
To the the wall at the bottom. So imagine I've done that like so.
So you're using that sort of around the it's going into the stem and into the base all the way around as well.
It is.
Okay.
So if you can see, these extra bits of wool that I've put on top, I'm actually stabbing those directly into the stem of the toadstool, and then I'm going to use multiple one for this.
It's a similar principle to the sheep's ears.
It is.
Isn't it?
Yeah.
Because you had sort of 2 flaps, and then it was they went onto the side of the head.
That's right.
And yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you need a little bit of extra.
Still amazes me the things that you can create.
Yeah. There's no end. It just.
And this is a pretty straightforward thing to do once you've done it, had a go.
And the nice thing about these is you can once you've got the sort of little tips for doing it, you can
make cactuses.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Cactuses, plants, flowers, toadstools.
Yeah, you can. So it's a bit wobbly because obviously I haven't secured this quite as well as I have done that one. Then you can put on top of here, you could put some green fibre maybe if you wanted to make it look grassy.
Yeah.
Or I've got some of these lovely dyed curls.
I really like those.
They're beautiful, aren't
they?
they?
Look very mossy.
Yeah, they do.
Very moss-like, yeah.
They're probably not going to be so... Oh, I don't know, they might be okay. They're quite long, so they might be a little bit too long for this, but we don't need to take them
Would you
away.
snip them down?
No, what I would generally do is, the same as I've done with that one, I would take the nice end of the curl and take that up the stem of the toadstool, give those a couple of little stabs in there so it just holds the tops down. Mind your fingers.
Oh yeah, because they're not just fully secured, just at the top.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So it gives them a bit of
natural.
and they sort of, you can see them coming off a little bit as a real plant would. And then take this extra piece that we have down here and bundle that up onto your bit of core wool at the bottom, which will cover that up, and then you can stab that in. So that will cover that core wool up and make a nice forest bed
I really
at
like
the bottom of the toadstool, and then just continue to work round.
These all come in one packet.
These ones did, yes.
Ones?
No, these were all one bundle. I've had these a long time. There's slightly different ones there, but yeah, they all come. They were all in one bag. They're beautiful, aren't they?
I like it.
Lots of different colours.
Very woodlandy.
Yeah. So there's a short one there. So I would just continue working round the base, like I say. Just take the little ends up the stem of the toadstool. I'm conscious that I don't want to stab my fingers because it's quite... And then just bundle these.
The views might go up. They love all that
gore,
don't they? Love all that blood and gore on YouTube.
Yeah, it does hurt though.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Yeah, so
you get the idea. Fantastic.
So we're just going to keep working around.
So you're going to sort of achieve something like that, aren't you? As you finish. That's amazing. Well, Alison, another really enjoyable demonstration. We've enjoyed that a tremendous amount. Now, just a quick one, of course, if you've enjoyed the show, don't forget to subscribe to YouTube. That's very important to do that. And without further ado, we'll say thank you to Alison again for, of course, joining us for a fantastic demonstration. Again, once more, thank you for loaning us your shop as our home, the Craft Centre in Bourne. We'll see you again on the next show. Until then, happy crafting.
Bye.
So I enjoyed that. That was good. I liked that.
Yeah.
Oh, I've forgotten. Done it again. I've forgotten about the craft show giveaway.
Second time.
What am I like? Keep doing this.
Yeah.
I forgot to tell you that when we have a guest in the studio, of course, and they create it, whatever they've created on the show, we're going to give you the opportunity to get that at home. And it's very easy to do that. What you need to do is head to our Facebook page, which is, of course, facebook.com/thecraftshowtv. Please share the page, and we will know who shared and who hasn't shared. Keep sharing the page, and we'll pick somebody, won't we?
We will.
And we'll contact you and notify you as to who will receive Alison's fantastic crafty toadstool. So please do that, and it'll be finished.
Yeah,
so it's not going to finish. It's not a half-done project.
No, I'm not going to give it like that.
No,
no
so
don't
not forget that. So until next time, keep crafting.
crafting.
Bye.